Hello YouTube, my name is Ventral Monk. I haven't posted in 3 years. No one knows me because I haven't been consistent with saying anything on here. The last time I streamed, I was doing video game content. I think I was doing playthroughs of the Iridori Festival in Genshin Impact. Um, that was quite a while ago. Um, it's been too long. The reason why I stopped streaming is because I didn't have a strong enough connection to my internet to support streaming. Um, I don't have a modem to hardwire to. I have roommates, and one of my roommates has the modem hooked up to their console, so I didn't have the option to have it hooked up to mine. Um, if you're watching this video, I appreciate I appreciate you. I don't expect you to like or follow. I'm not being monetized or anything. I might decide to make more videos like this in the future because, well, it's going to be evidence. It's going to be evident uh, what my thoughts are and why I would want to keep making videos after this, even if I'm not getting paid for them. Some of you are probably, if you're watching this, I doubt anyone is, thinking to yourself, why the mask? Well, think about it. You'll probably come to a conclusion. If not, I guess I can do some hand holding for a second here. Alright. The reason why I'm wearing the mask is because I'm terrified. Because, despite being a cynic, and I do mean, like, I have very low expectations of just about anyone. I don't trust people easily because life has been such a bitter and miserable experience for me. Despite that, I found myself very unpleasantly surprised at just how awful human beings can be last week. Everyone, everyone knows exactly what I'm referring to. The assassination of Charlie Kirk was disturbing, considering he wasn't really this big, bad Nazi like people painted him out to be. He was horribly misunderstood by people who took his content out of context to make him look like he was something he wasn't. While I don't agree with everything he said, he was respectable towards people he disagreed with. He was willing to have decent conversation with people. He was a bit cocky, and I don't like that, but everyone has to have character flaws. And there's one opinion I can definitely say I disagree with him on. It's his stance on abortion. I believe in separating my personal beliefs on a religious matter from my political beliefs, because I know we don't live in a theocracy, and I wouldn't want to live in a theocracy, because a theocracy exists only to serve the people who agree with that theocracy. A theocracy is a hive mind. I respect everyone's right to have their own faith, or lack thereof. But it's not even his death that shook me. It definitely, it's definitely a component, but it's the overwhelming reaction after his death. The fact that hundreds of thousands of people celebrated his passing. I didn't think that we as humans were that far gone, where we would treat the death of someone who wasn't a murderer. He didn't non-consensually engage in fornication with people. If you know what that means, you know. If you don't, well, look up what fornication is, and the key word before that is non-consent. So, um, he didn't steal. He wasn't a politician. He didn't assault. He didn't assault or beat people up for being of a different sexual orientation. He didn't push drugs on children. He didn't play porn or gore in front of children. He didn't confuse children with abstract ideas that they are too young to understand when they won't even understand who they are as a person until their mid-20s. That's a hard pill to swallow, by the way. As someone who's 34 years old, I can concur that most of us don't truly know who we are until we're 25. Our identity is constantly growing, and eventually some of these ideas you have that you think you are convinced of at 16, eventually you'll grow out of them. You won't believe me now, but eventually you'll look back and be like, damn, he was right. Some of you never will grow up because you don't see a reason to grow up. And if you're part of that group, then I sincerely apologize. The thing that bothers me the most is that with how many people are agreeing with his death, are not just agreeing, but celebrating it. Like, we don't expect you, no one expects you to, no one expects you to mourn the death of someone you don't like. We don't expect that at all. But it comes back to a lesson my generation were taught when we were children, which is if you haven't got anything nice to say, then don't say nothing. And what you have accomplished by making yourselves known as people who would celebrate the death of someone over words. You have made it known that you would celebrate the death of any American who disagrees with your opinions. Doesn't matter whether it's one opinion or many. Where do we draw the line? Where should we expect the line to be drawn? Is it certain topics that are triggering to you? Or is it any given one? If there's no diversity of thought, then there's no freedom. If there's no freedom, then there's no quality to life. Because life only has value if it has freedom. If you have no freedom, you are nothing more than a slave. And many people were brought to the conclusion that Charlie Kirk was a horrible person because of clips or articles they may have seen that took his words out of context. They intentionally cut out the context of what he was saying to paint him as something he was not. I've seen just about everything you could see as far as context being taken out of important things to make him painted as this and that and this and that. And I was not a follower. I didn't keep up with the show. But after the celebrations, all the stuff that was going on, because as far as I knew, he was just a guy that liked to have debates with people, because he believed that if you stopped talking, if you cut people out, regardless whether that you agree with them or not, especially if you disagree with them. That violence would be the answer, and that violence would be the conclusion to what would happen. And, well, the left has been shutting out people for disagreeing with them for the last 10 to 15 years. It was only a matter of time before something like this happened. I thought we had longer. I am unsure if America has the possibility of getting through this without a civil war, and I don't want war. I wouldn't survive. I know that. I'm a pacifist. I'm not a fighter. And I know that if I died, as of right now, I know that if I were to die, whether it be in that war or being killed by someone because I believe in free speech, I believe that there are only certain types of people that deserve to die, and they are criminals to the highest degree of that word. I'm afraid that everyone would celebrate my murder as well. And I'm sure that there are many Americans right now who feel the same way. And no part of our government is helping the situation. Both right and left are constantly throwing fuel on the fire, accelerating it towards the point where we will, within the next 12 years, have a civil war again. If we can avoid that possibility, I would greatly, greatly hope that we can do it peacefully. But I don't see that. As I said at the beginning of the video, I'm a cynic. And I don't expect that things will get better before they get much worse. To everyone who has watched this, if you've watched this, stay safe. May God be with you. And I wish you the best, regardless of what you believe. And as a little note at the end here, I don't care which side of the political aisle you stand on. I don't care how inflammatory your remarks are. I don't care if you're Hassan fucking Piker, who has more quotes on a quiz, Twitch or terrorist, than Osama bin Laden did. I would not celebrate your death. I would condemn the person who took your life from you. I would fight. Not physically. Because I don't have physical capability for fighting. But I would argue any case for why it was not alright for your life to be taken. I don't care who the fuck you are. I hope you have a great night. And if you've watched this, thank you for watching. If there are any topics you want to ask me or see if I want to look into and maybe discuss, please leave comments. But I don't know if I'm going to be making another video. I do want to, but maybe I feel like I need to. But I've procrastinated. Bye.